Hey guys, this is Vaughn, and welcome back to another episode on the Pixelmon server. We are back once again, every day, every single day, we're back. We're back, yes, hello guys, I am back, yes, and today we are going to work on leveling up this Anorith that we have on our inventory bar, and also our Bulbasaur. If we ever finish the Anorith. It turns out I do have an Ivysaur in my book, in my Pokédex, but I don't have a Bulbasaur anymore, apparently, in my boxes. So I must have gotten one at some point and then deleted it. So we're going to keep him handy. Let's head over to Boss Island, and today we're going to answer some of the questions from the that you guys gave me episode 140, I believe. And basically that's all we're gonna do this episode. We're gonna level, answer questions. I always enjoy these episodes because I like I can't just talk to all of you guys easily, you know, and add you on Skype and be best friends. Even though I would like to know some of you more, I can't do it. But this is a way for you guys to ask me questions about myself and let me talk to you a little bit more, I guess. I don't know. So they're always fun. Good questions. I got a lot of good questions this time, so I culled it down to about 10, and we're going to see how many we can get through. Hopefully we can get through all of them while we level. Let's get this guy on the bar, and I think there was something that I almost caught that I didn't have yet. I'm going to try to keep my eye on the Pokemon when we throw them out, because sometimes I kill ones that I don't have because I'm not paying attention. Anyway, let me move that over there. Let me move my questionnaires over there. And without further ado, let's start answering questions. First one is from Truth Seeker, who asks quite a few questions. And he/she asks, how much of the world did you explore in real life? I'm assuming you're asking where I've been. I've been to Japan. I've been to England, Mexico and Canada, Paris, or France, and I think in terms of, and of course America, because that's where I live. That was a lot of levels for one dude. America, and I've been to quite a few states in the US, but not all of them. That's a good question, though. I love to travel. I definitely want to travel more, but it's very expensive. He also asks, will you make a vlog soon? Just some informative videos for us. What's happening in your life, and show us your cats. I will probably do that at some point. I keep meaning to do it, and I just keep putting it off because, I don't know, forget. But yeah, I want to do some more vlogs. I would like to do at least one a month, if not more often than that. It's weird how time works, because sometimes it feels like it goes so slowly, and other times it's like, holy crap, it's almost July. Like, what the heck, man? But yes, I want to do that. And then, final question, do you work somewhere to get money to live besides YouTube? Yes, although I'm not currently working at that job right now, and if I am lucky, I won't have to go back. I don't require a whole lot of money to live at present, and I would love to be doing YouTube instead of the job that I had. I hated the job that I had. I just really, really disliked it. So I'd much rather make small amounts of money doing YouTube than large amounts of money doing this job that I hated. So, wow, we're almost done with this guy. So, hopefully, you know, you guys watched videos and I don't have to do my job that I don't like anymore, and everybody is happy. But good questions, very good questions. Thank you for asking them. Next one is from, second question is from H Lightning Strike. And he/she asks, where do you live in real life? Here's my address and my social security number. No, I live in Southern California, obviously in the United States of America. I don't live in Los Angeles, but I live near-ish. I'm about an hour to 2-hour drive away, depending on traffic, from Los Angeles. On a nice holiday where there's nobody on the roads, it's only an hour. During rush hour, it's 2 to 2.5 hours. California is a weird state, but pretty nice. I enjoy it. I don't quite love where I live. I wish I lived a little bit closer. Like, I wish I lived around Disneyland. I live further east than Disneyland. But Disneyland would be like a good location to live, I think. Where I live is not bad. It's just not great, basically. But it's a good question, and I'm surprised how few people I know in like the YouTube business live. Ooh, level 88. That's great. Live in the Southern California area. I really thought that there would be more. And maybe there are, and I just don't know them, but I have not really met them other than, like, a Dual Get, Highboy, and Captain Sparkles are pretty much the only ones that I know that live around here. Oh, and I think Yuki, who used to be on Red Cubed, lives in Southern California. Anyway, we're on level 29. Let's see. Is this, Ratata gonna be the final one? Nope, not yet, but very close. Next question is from Kazekishi. How did you come to like vintage shirts? Ah, good question. Very good question. So for those of you who don't know, my skin is based on me in real life, and it's based on a shirt that I actually love. And I haven't changed my skin in a while, but I have different shirts that I try on that are all based on, oh, here we go, we're leveling up. That are all based on real life shirts. Oh, he didn't level. Does he not level at level 30? They're all based on real life shirts that I own, and I really like vintage clothing. They're all vintage from the 60s or 70s. And why do I like that? Well, I used to hate shopping when I was little. Like, you know, your mom would like drag you shopping, and you would just be like, oh my god, I don't want to try things on. And then she would like, you have to go try it all on to make sure it fits, and you're just like, please put me out of my misery. I've never been more unhappy in my life than this moment right now. That was me. And I realized as I grew up that it wasn't that I didn't like... Ooh, that's a boss. It wasn't so much that I didn't like wearing or trying on clothes and having cool outfits. It's just that I hated everything that was for sale in stores and things. And that's because I don't like the clothing that they make. I like, for instance, for guys, like, I'm a very bright, colorful guy, and I killed him. Dang it. I wanted him to get the XP from that guy. I like bright colors. Like, oh, I don't know why I used that one. Let's give it to Arya. So, like, you can get red. You can get red. You can get red. Sometimes, in certain stores, you can get red. Now, I've seen, like, yellow and orange occasionally for sports clothes and stuff, but for the most part, men get, like, black, gray, navy blue. There it goes, Anorith. Wow! Look at all those TMs! Rock Slide, Bulk Up, Attract, Dragon Claw, and an Orb. Wow, that guy had all of the TMs for all of the bosses that I've fought in the last 6 months. Okay, I thought Anorith leveled up at level 30, so let me check and see what level he does level up at. So we're not wasting our time, because I don't want to be leveling him if he doesn't level. Anorith levels at 40, so we're good. We're going to keep going, and we're going to take out this level 49 Drapion, and we're going to answer some more questions while we do it. Oh, well, I wasn't quite finished with the vintage shirt. So I like colors, and I didn't like what stores had to offer, and I got into the 1960s. I kind of like discovered the Beatles in college. Like, I knew who they were, but I really got into their music in the 60s, and they have all these fantastic clothes. And I was like, I love those clothes. I love the colors. They're so bright and, like, colorful and amazing. And so I realized that it wasn't that I didn't like shopping for clothing. I just didn't like shopping for the clothing that we sold. I really liked the colorful stuff. And vintage clothing, I like the fact that it's vintage to begin with, but I also like the fact that they're very colorful and bright, and they reflect my personality much more than most modern-day clothes. I mean, I do have some modern-day clothes, but most of what I wear is vintage, and that's why. It fits my personality a lot better, and I don't know, makes me happy. Good question, though. Very good question. Thank you for asking. Next one is from Curtis Lord. As you've previously said, you're a big fan of Star Trek and Doctor Who. What are your other favorite TV shows? Oh man, well, I've talked about a lot of these before as well, but Cosmos, which just finished off a new season after a 30-year hiatus, was hosted by Neil deGrasse Tyson this year. So good. So good. It's more of a documentary than like a regular kind of TV show, I guess. It wasn't like a spaceship show or anything, but so good. I really recommend it. If you haven't seen it, check it out and see if you like at least the first episode. It's all about space and the universe, and not just space, but life and the world and how things work. It was just really well done. It's the kind of thing that I want everybody to watch and learn from. Good stuff. I like Firefly. I mean, that's an old show, but I really liked it when it was on. I'm watching Game of Thrones. I started off not liking it a whole lot, like watching it kind of like a train wreck. Fury Cutter. Okay, yes. But like the more I watched it, the more I got into it, and it's a difficult show to watch because it's very... Not only is it like graphic, but it's like everybody dies. Like not just everybody dies, but they all die horribly. But it's interesting, and I'm invested in the characters now. I just kind of want to see where it goes and see how he wraps it up and ties up all these loose ends and stuff. And I do genuinely like some of the characters as well, which I probably shouldn't because that means he's going to viciously murder them at some point, but I'm hoping that he doesn't. And I'm sure there's other things that I watch and enjoy. Nothing is coming to mind. Are these guys fighting each other? Dang it. I hate when they fight each other because I want to fight them. I want to kill them. Okay. Come on, Lyron. Kill him. Kill him. Yay. Good job, Lyron. Okay. Next question. I'm trying to think if there's any other TV shows that I really, really like. I mean, nothing that's airing right now. I don't have time to watch television. Level 38, we're getting close. That's a good question. If you have any recommendations for TV shows I should watch, let me know. I like sci-fi fantasy, but I do like documentary type style stuff too, so you never know what's going to strike my fancy. Next question is from... Oh, wait, hold on. Let me see this name. C4 General Gaming. If you could learn any five different languages, what would they be and why? And that is an interesting question. This was on the video where I talked about foreign languages. Obviously, Japanese would be probably my #1 because I've studied that one, and I would love to just be able to, like, plug the matrix in my head and suddenly be fluent at Japanese. I think I would like to learn Spanish because where I live in Southern California, well, not everyone, but Spanish is a very frequently spoken language. It would be useful in many situations to know Spanish. I've tried to learn it, and I have not succeeded by myself, so just being able to snap my fingers and know it would be awesome. I would love to know pretty much any other language. I think knowing, like, an ancient Latin language would be really useful in terms of, like, learning other languages, you know, if you know like the basics, the root of it. And it would also, you know, because we have a lot of our words that are derived from Latin terms, you know, like I can't think of any examples, but you know, exterior and anterior and anti, like all of those suffixes and things, like once you know what those mean, even if you don't know what the word means, what the word is or what the word means, you can look at those and be like, okay, like asymmetrical. I know what symmetrical means, right? So symmetrical means that it's the same on both sides. And asymmetrical, what does asymmetrical mean? Well, I know the word atypical, and that's like the opposite of being typical, and I know that an atheist is the opposite of a theist, so an abnormal is the opposite of normal. Like, you kind of like start learning, oh, so a or ab, that kind of term means the opposite of whatever that thing is. So, you know, like you start to learn, and I think knowing a language like Latin would help you kind of understand how all of those things work a little more intuitively. Korean would be kind of cool. Maybe not one of my top 5, but I would like to know Korean. Russian, honestly, I think would be kind of cool to know. I actually started like playing with the Rosetta Stone for Russian, and I didn't get very far, but I don't know. I think that would be cool. Like Russian or Chinese, like so many people speak Chinese. I think that would be cool. I've studied some Chinese as well. Didn't do very good at it. I was studying Mandarin, and our textbook was written in like the 1820s or something, so it was kind of ridiculous. But it would be neat to speak Chinese. I don't know. I mean, like I said, be happy learning anything. You know what would be really cool is like a Native American kind of language. Oh, here we go. We're leveling. A Native American language, or like one of those languages that is dying, you know, and only like 1,000 people in the world still speak it. I think that would be kind of cool. Not very practical because, of course, 1,000 people, you're not going to get to use it much. But for the ability to kind of preserve and share that language, I think that would be kind of cool. Probably not something that I'd ever do, but neat. I did try learning Klingon once when I was, like, much younger. You are one ugly-looking dude. You are ugly. Armeldo. Okay, that's lovely. But yay, we leveled that guy up. Let's take him out and let's put the Bulbasaur on, because Bulbasaur is going to be a lot more fun to level, I think. But yeah, I started learning Klingon. I'll have to tell you the story why I started learning Klingon some other day, because it's too long to go. It's not too long. It would be a tangent that I don't want to go into right now, but kind of funny. So maybe Klingon. I don't know. Let's see. Next question is from Carlos Zometa. Carlos, mi amigo Carlos Zometa. What do you think of the price raises at Disneyland? Oh, Bulbasaur, you need to be healed. And do you go to any other theme parks? So, most of you probably don't know, but Disneyland raised its prices again. So it went from $92 a day to $96 a day. When we went, I just went recently with Aurelian and Blue Bayou, and the prices for, we got the park, well, they got the park hoppers because I have a season pass, but they were, you know, they don't live locally, so they bought the park hopper so we could go to both parks as much as we wanted within one day, and it was $150 for one day's worth of something. Now, on the one hand, that seems like an astronomical amount of money. Like, just astronomical. Like, $150 for one day's entertainment. Like, sure, you can go from 8 a.m. to midnight, but that's still, like, a ton of money. On the other hand, how much would you pay to see, you know, your favorite music artist in concert? Like, I paid $150 to see Paul McCartney in concert. I paid $150 to see Bob Dylan in concert. And that was far less time than, you know, that was like an hour, 2 hour, 3 hour concert, you know? So, I mean, obviously, yeah, it's freaking Paul McCartney, but you're getting a lot of entertainment. Like, in terms of, like, per value per day, or per hour or something, it kind of works out. It's not so bad. It is expensive, but what I've learned from going a lot is that it's expensive because it's about supply and demand now more than greed or anything. As an annual pass holder, there's different tiers of passes where you can pay like $650 and you can go any amount of time, any day, and no problems. You can pay like the $400 version where it's like half of the days are, oh, he's gonna evolve right now, I think, too. You know, where there are certain days where you can't go. You're paying less money, so you can't go on those days, and then so on and so forth. And so what I've discovered is that the people, like, if Sunday is not blacked out and Saturday is on like the medium tier pass, then Sunday, which is usually a day that doesn't have as many people because it's a work day, or you have work the next day for most people, or school, but it tends to be more crowded than Saturdays because the people with the annual passes don't go on Saturday, but they go on Sunday because they've been, you know, because they bought the middle tier pass. And so it's like super crowdedly packed. So I think that their plan is to make it more expensive to make the parks not as crowded. And that is actually much better, because when you're at Disneyland and you've paid $150, you don't want to wait in line for 6 hours to ride one ride. You know, you want to ride, you want to wait in a 45-minute line, or you want to wait in a 10-minute line. And Disneyland is so much more enjoyable when there's just not as many people in the park. And the only way that you can do that is to raise the prices. There's just no other way to stop people from going to the park. So while I don't want to pay more money, obviously, I understand why they do it in a supply and demand sort of way, and it does seem to kind of work. That was weird lighting glitches there. So it sucks, but I understand it. As far as other parks, theme parks, I don't really go to other ones. Knott's Berry Farm has some interesting things, but some other stuff about it that I don't like. And then the other parks, like Universal Studios, which is kind of local, is so much further north. Much cheaper. I mean, you can, I think they have a thing where it's like, you can buy one, didn't I just say I didn't want that? You can buy like one day and you can get the whole year free, which is like the opposite of Disneyland. But it's so far north, it just takes so long to drive there, it's hardly worth it for me. Like, Disneyland is like a 45-minute drive. Universal Studios is like an hour-and-a-half drive, and it just, that by the time I get there, I'm already exhausted, so I don't want to go anymore. So, no, I don't really go to a whole lot of other parks. Yeah, that's pretty much the answer to that question. I don't really do any other parks. But good questions. And that was a total random rant that I just went on, but okay. Next question is from Nicholas Perez. Do you have a celebrity crush? And if so, who is she? Why do you assume it's a she? No. I don't know if it quite counts as a celebrity crush, but I think, like, I'm on, like, a Lupita Nyong'o, I don't know how to say her last name, kick right now. I just think she's just really attractive. I don't know that it quite counts as a crush, because I think if I met her in real life, I would be too intimidated to ever talk to her. But I think that she's very pretty, and I would like to have the chance to get to talk. I would like to have the chance to get to be too intimidated to talk to her. The other, like, people that I really like tend to be, like, vintage people who are not either, like, really old now or not alive. Like, I really like Jane Asher. She was kind of popular in the 1960s, and she's still alive, and she's still very attractive, but she's like 65, so while I'm not opposed to dating somebody who is much older than I am, it doesn't really help, like, having a crush. Like, it's not a crush, it's more like admiration or something. So, I don't know, not really. I mean, not really. I don't really have any crushes, unfortunately. I don't know, I used to. I know right now. But good question. Who is your celebrity crush? Is it me? It should be me. Everybody should have a crush on me. I don't remember when people used to get crushes on me. It hasn't happened in a long time. Nobody loves me anymore. Ham Rogers 1. Alright, you have a question. This is a very important question. Oh, level 30. I think he's gonna... No, he doesn't level up. This is a difficult question from, like I said, Ham Rogers 1. Asking the difficult questions. How long is your butt? It's a good question, and the answer to that is my butt is exactly 1 butt length long. Could you imagine that? It is a butt length long. I mean, exactly a butt length long. Just imagine. It's amazing. It's magic. I don't know how it happened. How long is your butt? Thanks for that question, though. We're getting towards the end. That's good. Matthew Franco, do you play any instruments? And if so, how many and which ones? And if not, which instruments would you like to learn to play? I play badly, like piano and guitar badly. Like, I'm not good. I don't know how to, like, I can't play by ear. So, like, if I have sheet music in front of me and practice for hours and hours and hours, I can play a song. but it's not intuitive or anything. Internet says that he levels up at 32, so I just got impatient. Oh, what was the question again? Oh, instruments that I play. I would love to be able to play even one instrument well. Not even, like, good. Just well, you know, just enough to, like, pull it out at the campfire and, like, play a couple tunes. Or somebody would be like, do you know blah, 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 blah? And I could actually play it. Because I can't do that. And I would like to play guitar or piano. Those would probably be my two preferences, just because they seem like the most practical. Guitars because of the portability of them, and pianos just because they're so versatile. How about you? Do you play any music? And if you could learn any instrument magically, which instrument would you play? Good question, though. And the final question comes from Tony. I had two people who asked this one, but let's let Ivysaur evolve first. Both Tony Conan and Sanford Compton asked, what kind of things do I have on my bucket list, and have I done any of them? I don't actually have a bucket list. I probably should make one, because that's kind of like a cool thing to have. It's like the list of like things that you want to do before you die. Yay, pedal dance! Great! Our Venusaur grew up! The model on this guy's pretty good. I guess it makes sense. He's a starter, and all the starters should have nice models, because I'm sure that starters tend to be people's favorites. Pidgeotto? Really? Shut up. You're annoying me. But yay, Ivysaur! So bucket list. I would like to go to Scotland. I'd like to learn another language. I've been to England. I will probably go to Scotland, maybe even this year, depending on where Minecon is. If it's in England, then I will probably make a trip up to Europe. Or to, up to Europe. Depending on where in Europe, I guess it is. Well, let's do Tortuga next. Will determine how whether or not I get to Scotland. But I'd really like to get to Scotland. I'd like to go back to Japan. I'd like to find the true love of my life, and I don't necessarily want to get married. I mean, that would be fine if my partner or girlfriend or whatever is really into it, but I don't have any particular love for marriage. But I would like to, like, settle down with someone and have, like, that awesome connection with someone. I don't know if you can really put that on a bucket list, though. It's not something you can, like, save up and plan for. It just kind of has to happen. I'm very picky. So, I've settled in the past for people that I was not that into. You know, somebody that I said, you're good enough, but you're not perfect. And it was not fair to either of us. And so I've become a very picky person. And that's okay. I would rather be alone than with the wrong person. But that's going to be it for this question. I have done a lot of really amazing things in my life already. Things that probably would have been on my bucket list if I had a bucket list. But not... you know what? I'm going to make a bucket list. I'm going to start writing it down and have an official bucket list. And I'm going to credit to you guys. I'm going to say, Sanford and Tony, this is for you. My bucket list. And in the meantime, we are going to end this episode. Did he level up? What level does he level up? Does he level up at... I thought he might... Probably 30. So we'll finish leveling him next episode. But thank you guys, as always, for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I always enjoyed the Q&As. They're a little bit weird, but fun. My name is Vaughn, and I will see you next time. Bye!